Thank you so much, Kumar Das, sir, for organizing this very wonderful webinar. It's been truly an eye-opener, and I'm so happy to see the researchers on the ground. This is what I believe, academic research in the laboratories and in offices need to now reach out to the ground level, and I'm so happy to hear this initiative. Um, I'd like to summarize a few of my thoughts in this matter. Um, I was pleasantly, or not pleasantly, but surprised to hear about the apparent non-awareness of government subsidies and policies among the fishing communities. I thought they were fairly well informed, what with grassroots level self-help groups all over the state. In fact, I got the impression that they were being misused, they were being over-capitalized, but nonetheless, some more research needs to be done so that if the communities at the bottom level are not aware, then perhaps some more education at the ground level needs to be done. And who better than research analysts and researchers, because you will merge both the spheres now. Now that you've had an interaction with the ground people, you're in a unique position. A bit of advice here. I'm so happy to hear the reach out to the communities, the coastal communities. It's very important to document this. This is the intangible culture. This is the intangible story that is often not documented. You are in a position to document. They'll never document it themselves. So there'll be a lot of literature on sensors, on remote sensing, on DGR, on CV. But the story of the fishermen and the story of the community, what they're going through, that has to be documented. Because the rest can always be recreated now with AI and a lot of other tools. But the story once lost from this community will be lost forever. And the new generations are not as switched on in the community as the older generation. I was looking at some of the difficulties that you very rightly highlighted, and I want to add a few. One of the key features that you need to work on in future is the seasonal condition of our, ocean-going work. We are a monsoon country. Indeed, our history of trade is so dependent on the monsoon, and so is our agriculture and our economy. But that means that the coastal communities really have a huge lack of continuity. And that needs to be documented in a manner where can we give them a year-long, employment? There is no business we can say 5 months of the year, there is no production and there is no employment. That won't work. Traditionally, of course, they were repairing their boats and nets, but this has to go beyond it now. Also, we require a year-long sustainable crop produce every month. We can't say 4 months there'll be nothing produced. So we need to look at how tools and AI can work on giving us a continuous yield throughout the year. And in this, some sustainable seeds are required. Every time the monsoon is over, we have short of seeds because there is nothing left in the seas. Another very important thing that you need to look at in future is the aspect of zoning. There is there's an underlying conflict between an area which is a prime fishing area and that which is suitable for seaweed. So some sort of zoning has to be done in a manner which is sustainable to both. Otherwise, you always have a near conflict situation. We are trying to get the coastal community to get engaged with this, but there has to be a demarcation. And that demarcation is possible with remote sensing tools, with the tools that you're working on with the API, where you can say what areas are suitable for seaweed and what are not. A small little thing I notice every time I go on the field, that because the community is similar, they are double banking the trawler boats for seaweed operations. So the trawler boats are not the most sustainable and economic for seaweed operation. They are meant for deep sea work, but because they don't have specialized boat, they do it. It's something that we need to look at in a sort of manner which is sustainable. I was so happy to hear some of the parameters that you looked at, the 3 parameters, especially salinity, pH, and temperature. But as you know, this is not going to be enough. There are a lot of other variables that need to go in to give you a yield, predictive analysis. And I was so happy to also hear our friends from Philippines, Professor Pamela and Professor Andrea. I totally appreciate the concern that they have voiced, especially Professor Andrea on the aggressive situation developing in South China Sea and the effect that is having. We understand this. The exclusive economic zone which is so clearly demarcated, is sacrosanct, and we're very sorry to hear that. So this is something that the nations of the ocean Indian rim need to work on together in a sustainable manner. I was very happy to hear Dr. Islam mentioned about the Island Summit in 2026, and that is something that I look forward to knowing more about, and the Ocean Literature Program. Finally, of course, my sincere gratitude to MRC and the entire team there. I've spent my life at sea, and I keep telling people that uh, I know the sea like most of the farmers on land know their crops. So I'm most comfortable when I'm in a boat or in sea. And I'm so happy to see all of you getting your feet wet and getting your sea legs. So that's something which I'm very enthused and happy to hear. My best regards for future endeavors, and thank you again.